Okay, like I remember back in maybe the mid 2000s, like around 2005 or somewhere around there to 2010, this book and this show came out that like had people like losing it, and it was called The Secret. You remember that?
I do remember that. I remember that like brown book with like some sort of wax candle seal that was like red or something.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Yeah, that's it. Did you ever watch it?
I watched bits and pieces of it, but I did read it. I read the book. I think I still have it somewhere in my car, I want to say.
Yeah, I didn't read the book first. I definitely watched the video. Yeah, let's talk about that.
This is Mikel-Claire.
And this is Trey.
And we are the couple of entrepreneurs. We're here to share with you our journey of successes and setbacks as we enter the world of entrepreneurship now that we no longer have 9-to-5s due to the new normal of the world and the pandemic.
Join us as we race the clock to start earning money, gain consistency, and overcome self-doubts and uncertainty as we search for our voices and obtain personal and financial growth. All right, well, here's the first and obvious question. What is The Secret?
Didn't you say it came out like in 2005?
I thought so.
And I'm supposed to remember what the secret was? No. It's a secret. Shh, it's a secret. No, I think it had to do with like the law of attraction, right?
Right.
So what does that mean?
From my understanding, the law of attraction is when you align your thoughts in such a way that you manifest those ideas into something real and tangible. So I guess the cheap, quick, easy way, if you think it, therefore it can become, or, it kind of goes back to that whole I think, therefore I am kind of thing. We have the power to create, and that creation is based off of the things that we think.
It's called the law of attraction because you attract into your life whatever it is that you're focusing on.
Okay.
So it doesn't have to be positive. Like you said, you could be focusing on negativity and negative things and you're going to attract that. So it's just attracting what you're focusing on or what your prevalent thoughts are.
Sounds like a bunch of baloney to me.
Well, if it sounds like bologna, you're going to attract some bologna. Are we having bologna sandwiches for lunch or fried bologna for dinner? We don't even eat bologna. But I'm just saying if we're going to attract that. But I don't think it sounds like bologna.
No, I don't either. I may not believe in all things that have been written in some of these books, but I am certainly co-signing on the vast majority of the things that have been said in books such as The Secret. Another good book that kind of talks about The Secret is Think and Grow Rich. Napoleon Hill, I believe, is the author of that. There's a few other of these really good financial wealth building, wealth mindset books that core element is The Secret.
One of my favorites was The Alchemist, talking about law of attraction. That was one of my absolute favorites, and I think that was the one that kind of really turned me into a believer, which is funny because it's not about like that directly, but the story is about that.
Okay.
And for me, that's what turned me into a believer.
Do you feel that it's just blind faith? Because some people surmise it is just that.
Well, I don't think it's blind if you're the one who's actually thinking the thoughts or attracting whatever it is that you're focusing on.
Right.
So to me, it's not blind because you still give it purpose and direction. So I don't think so. Do you think it's blind faith?
No, because I don't think you could just sit at home and just wish and then these things happen. I think that's where the disconnect comes for people who may not have read the books or seen the movies and stuff like that. I think they have this idea that it's just, you just sit home and you just wish for stuff and it's supposed to happen. But it doesn't work like that. There's a huge element that's involved, and that's taking action on those thoughts. And I think that is a big part of it that a lot of people miss. They put up the vision boards and they look at all the things that they want and they meditate over it and all of that. And all of that is great. And it is a necessary part of the process, but none of it is going to do anything unless you take action on those thoughts, action on attaining what it is that's on those boards, those picture boards, and action concerning those thoughts while you're meditating. It's simply just wishing and simply just having blind faith ain't gonna cut it. Speaking of the vision boards, I had mentioned that earlier. In case there's somebody here that has no idea what the secret is and manifestation and all of that, could you explain to them what a vision board is?
Well, I think it's somewhat different for some people, but I know for me, the ones that I have created in the past, it's like almost like a collage or a bunch of pictures or images of things that you would like to attract into your life. So say for instance, a black Tesla. Say for instance, like if you have like a dream house or something like that, you place a picture of those things so that you can see them constantly and so that they're always on your mind and on your focus and therefore being attracted into your life.
Okay. Oh, well, do you have one?
I have one downstairs under the stairs in a closet.
So much for that vision.
That's the vision after we moved into this house. I miss it. I would like to put it up somewhere where I can see it. I don't want to bombard anybody else with my vision, so I haven't really figured out where to hang it yet. But I do like looking at things that I would like to attain that make me happy.
Right.
So yeah, I think this is the third or fourth one I've had in my lifetime, but I do like them. What about you? I know you have one, but what do you feel about them, or do you think they're valuable?
I've had a few. I've actually had one vision board. It was one of the first ones where I actually knocked off, I'd say, a good quarter of the things that were on there. I don't think I've gotten more than maybe like halfway as far as accomplishing the things that are on my vision board. And the one I currently have up it's been a couple of the things that's been knocked down. But I think they're great because they're reminders to take action. I think the vision board itself is, once again, it's a great tool if you know how to use it. Some people, I think most people just kind of just put them up and it's just something to look at as they walk by. And then once again, we go back to what I was saying earlier, and they just wish and hope. And like, I wish I could have that. I hope I could have that, but do absolutely nothing in terms of action in order to make that happen. I think you've got to kind of like change your mindset and just see that vision board as a constant reminder to take action. And it's like, oh, okay, I see that black Tesla. Okay, so what am I going to do in order to get closer to that? You know, there's that beautiful home that's on my board. Now, what am I going to do in order to get closer to it? It can't be just, yeah, that's a cool thing to look at and I want. I think if you have that state of mind regarding a vision board, you'll probably find a lot more success. Now, I know I sound all hoity-toity regarding your vision boards and stuff. I want to be the first to admit that I fall into the category of looking at my board and being like, man, I wish I had that. You know, it's very rarely that I take that stance that I just got done spouting from my soapbox of taking action. You know, I'll think about it and I'm like, oh man, that Tesla does look nice, but I haven't implemented a plan of action in order to make that happen. Now I need to do that more so that my vision board can actually help me instead of just being something that has a bunch of pretty pictures on it.
So, you know, we talked about vision boards, and I know you had mentioned, you know, The Secret and reading some other books that you have. But how do you prepare for attracting the life that you want? Other than taking action, we get that. We get it. We've heard it. We've taken a note. We've written it down, taken a picture. But what other things can you do to prepare yourself?
Well, entrepreneurship and the law of attraction, I think they're kind of like cousins to each other. It's all mindset, and you have to get into the practice of repeating that mindset daily. It's like a muscle that you have to get fit, and the only way that muscle can get fit is by flexing it. So if you want to become better at the law of attraction, then you do have to make sure you're hanging around like-minded individuals, keeping a positive attitude, being in the type of a mindset of a can-do attitude instead of a sit-wish attitude. You have to do it every single day. You have to practice it as if this is just a part of your life. It has to become a part of your culture of manifesting these things. And then you'll see it a lot more, and it won't become something alien or sound like, a bunch of baloney. The best way to make it work is through practice.
I think another thing that I've read in a lot of these books is kind of paying attention to your environment and the universe. Say you're out for a walk and you're thinking about, hey, what should my next step be in my journey? And, maybe, I don't know, I'm trying to think of what the cue may be, but maybe there's a bird that's a blue jay chirping on the fence or something, and it has something to do specifically to one direction towards a decision that you're trying to make. So it's just about listening to those things, looking for cues, looking for answers, being open to receive them. And I think another thing that's important when you're trying to prepare is like having a mindset of abundance. Because I know, like, if you are thinking that things are limited or not available, then that's what you're going to attract. But if you are thinking that everything is in abundance and money is abundant and food is abundant, I know that that's a big part of the law of attraction as well. So just prepare and look and be on the watch and the lookout and open to receiving answers to things that you're looking for.
Yeah. I don't know if this ties in, but I think gratitude plays a big part of it. In a lot of these self-help books and entrepreneurial books, and even things such as The Secret, gratitude is constantly being referred to. And I think gratitude is kind of like a way of like finding your center, not being too low or being too high regarding where you are in your life, and stop worrying about things that are in the past and regretting things in the past and feeling anxious about things in the future. You kind of have to be just grateful for the moment, grateful for what you have available, grateful for the tools that you already have. I think a good way, if you can't think of something that's to be grateful for because you're just in a low period and don't believe that the power of your thoughts have real actual power, is to just look around you, everything around you, unless you're like in the woods and in nature. If you were in a city or in your home, if you look around you, everything surrounding you was somebody's thought that has been manifested into a reality. The chair that you're sitting in, somebody thought that out and took action to get the wood, to build the legs, to sculpt the leg, to sculpt the chair that you're sitting in, the table that you're sitting at, the shoes on your feet, the designs on your clothes, the music that you're listening to, all of this stuff were thoughts. So there is some real truth to this mumbo jumbo. And you can take gratitude in knowing that you too have that same power. It's literally hundreds of people's ideas that are surrounding you constantly, thousands daily, who thought something and manifested it into a reality. So that's a good thing to just be grateful for, that you can see that it can be done.
I know you mentioned being grateful, and that absolutely plays a part in what it is that we're talking about in the law of attraction. A lot of people also, when they're talking about this specific thing, deal with affirmations and like daily affirmations or affirmations related to whatever it is that you're trying to attract. And people do this daily, or, whenever they feel that they need to kind of be more at one with themselves.
Okay.
So do you have affirmations, or do you think that they work, or is it something that you've had in the past or done in the past that you feel was beneficial?
Now, when you're saying affirmations, you're saying things like you wake up in the morning and you look in the mirror and you say that I am blessed, I am capable, I can get these things done.
Yes.
Yeah, I do believe in that. I do believe that it trains your brain into getting on the right path. So my affirmations might be a little weird and wonky. I don't know if it's necessarily a mantra or a card that I read in the morning, but my affirmation for me is music. I might not have created it myself, but sometimes just a certain beat can get me in the right frame of mind in order to be more productive in my day, in order to make these dreams come true. Some of the lyrics that somebody will say, like I was listening to a Nipsey Hussle song, and it's just one of those things. It reaffirms me that I am capable. The bass when it hits, the lyrics, how he's spitting, the energy that's in his voice. it's kind of a bit of an affirmation. I do kind of have my own things that I say to myself too. And one of the things that I say to our son a lot of times is, all of the tools that you need are here. You have everything right now to move forward to another level. Everything. There's nothing that's out of reach to keep you from taking a step closer to finding success. Do you have anything? You are a meditator, but I don't want to presume that that's what you're using to get you through your day. Let us peek into your mind a little bit.
I do believe in affirmations. I think that, like you said, repetition and repeating things to yourself kind of helps you to start to believe them. When I meditate, I don't necessarily do affirmations, but I have started to kind of look around on YouTube and find some that are specific to what it is that I need in the moment. You hear a lot of the I am blessed, I am loved, I am open to abundance. So I think sometimes it reminds me of things that I may not remember or think of in the moment because of whatever it is that I may be dealing with or going through. So being able to hear things like that and say things like that out loud to myself, I think definitely help whatever it is that I'm dealing with. I do think music is a type of motivator, mood changer. It is an affirmation for you. I mean, everybody can find their own affirmations and whatever creates the space that they need in order to attract whatever it is that they're looking for. But I do think it's beneficial, and anybody that can find what it is that's specific for them that they need in that moment, it can definitely help.
Well, we're talking about a lot of the principles behind living in a life of the law of attraction and learning the principles of the secret. Do you have anything that you can tell or talk about that has kind of reinforced your belief in it?
Honestly, it's funny because I'm sure there are a million examples that are there that I just have not recognized. And I know that to be true. But one particular example that really rang true for me was when we were moving and trying to find a new place to live and just trying to, upsize and, have more room and things like that. But I wasn't really sure. I was a little stressed. Time was running short, but I just knew that A, it would come, and B, it would be what we needed and wanted. And I just kind of turned down everything that wasn't that. It wasn't what I had envisioned in my head. And I knew once I saw it, I was like, that's it. And that's where we're going to live. And it just all worked itself out, even though we weren't sure or kind of had doubted a little bit. But I knew, and it's where we are. And that was like the truest example for me that I was aware of that happened. So what about for you? Have you seen it in action?
Yes, I see it often. I'm a very blessed individual. And I think a lot of those blessings come from recognizing the fact that I'm a blessed individual. I think the biggest example is 2020 in general, and still being here, still connecting and loving my family, still being able to pay some bills, still knowing that things are going to get better. And I think our mindset, the actions that we take, the gratitude that we feel every day regarding getting through another day in these challenging times is the best proof that I can show regarding living a law of attraction. We don't have a lot of sickness in our family. We have a means to an end. We have the health in order to make tough and difficult choices to give us the energy and stamina to get through it. Everything from good eating to exercising to communication. It's just very reaffirming. So I am a believer in it. I would just like to be able to control that power more. Like everybody else, I would like to be like, this is exactly the thing that I want. And I'm just going to sit here and have that happen right now. But unfortunately, it doesn't work by those rules. So, but I am a believer.
A lot of times when we hear about the law of attraction, they talk about how things are easier to manifest or more abundance can come if you're actually like living your life in your purpose. How do you feel about that? How do you associate the two things? And do you feel, here's the real question, do you feel like you are living in your purpose? Or do you know what your purpose is?
That's the $1 million question. That's the secret to life. That's the guy that's sitting on the top of the mountain with his legs crossed doing ohms telling you the secret of life. It's purpose. That is what I truly believe. I believe once you've found your purpose, your real true purpose, then you're going to find unbelievable joy within your life because everything is going to be, moving forward. The challenge is finding it, or even knowing for certain that you're doing it. Sometimes we think we're in our purpose and it may not be. It might be another stepping stone to get us closer to what our true and real purpose is. And I think I fall into that category. I may not have found my 100% pure purpose in this world, but I do believe that the path that I'm on is more than likely going to reveal what that is going to be to me, because I just can't see it. The journey is still pretty far and long, and I just can't see the destination, but I do know that I'm supposed to go in a specific direction, if that makes sense. How about you? Are you living to coin the term, a purpose-driven life?
That is a very tricky question. I think the people that are, they know it. So if that's the case, I don't think I am. Do I want to be? Absolutely. I think that when, not if, but when I am and I figure out what my purpose even is, I really and truly think that that's when true happiness and true success can come. Until then, I don't think it's not that you can't be happy, but I think it's going to be like a whole other level. And I look forward to that, which is why I don't want to close myself off to that possibility and why I would like to work towards that. So am I living a purpose-driven life? I am driven by purpose. I just have to figure out what that purpose is. So I don't want to discourage anyone who hasn't found their purpose yet because, like I said, happiness is still possible. It's just a whole other level.
Right. Well, I know one law of attraction we have, and that is attracting this pen we're about to stick in this show. You have been hanging out with the couple of entrepreneurs. Thank you so much for taking the time to just hang out and talk about the laws of attraction and figuring out what the secret is, living purpose-driven lives, all that good stuff. We're out here talking money, entrepreneurship, living a life of purpose. If these things ring true to you, please hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends and family all about us, and we will catch you on the next one. Peace out.